Ladies and gentlemen, it's my personal pleasure to introduce and bring out the cast of The Evil Dead. Give them a big round of applause.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning. It's my pleasure to announce some of the other dignitaries who are here today. Mr. Tom Sullivan, Makeup Effects, the Wizard is in the house. He played Scotty in the original film. Please welcome Hal Del Rey. She played Shelley, Teresa Tilly. Her body parts flop on the floor like you've never seen before. And now, formerly my girlfriend, Betsy Baker. She was my girlfriend, but she was gonna get me. Wasn't that right there? Last but not least, Ellen Sandwich. She was all right, now let's have a seat and we will begin a very in-depth discussion about a very serious topic. The Evil Dead motion picture. So you have everyone here today that, other than Sam Raimi, who's shooting this crappy little $200 million movie right now. He can't be here. So, I guess we'll turn it over to you to determine what you need to know about something that has been spoken about and written about ad nauseum for 30 years. We appreciate any new insights that you have. Yes?
And they have a microphone?
No, they're just going to shout. Were you just itching, sir, or was that a question?
Nobody's going to shout.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Here's one.
Yes, ma'am.
I just watched Evil Dead for the first time last night.
The first Evil Dead. What was your virgin experience?
I love you as on Burn Notice. You're awesome. It was lovely meeting all of you. But my question is, why do you worry so much about you think you were a bad actor in that movie? Because I think you did really well.
Oh, she's special.
Here it is.
What were you drinking when you were watching it?
We were eating Chinese food, which I had to stop eating.
Ma'am, come and get some money. I really do appreciate that.
And by the way, my daughter.
Please don't bother me for any more money today. No, we're done. Oh, I see. Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
No more money for anybody. Unless it's a really excellent compliment.
More questions.
Okay, but so
Here's one.
We have to frame it.
Go ahead, stand up and pretend you know what you're talking about.
shop smart.
It's the dentist.
I had a very unserious question yesterday for you, Bruce. But I have a serious one
A
today.
serious one today.
Was it purposefully ironic that a man named Ash had such an issue with all things made of wood, like bookshelves, chairs?
That's a serious fucking question. Look, at least I didn't get Dutch elm disease like that. That only works in the Midwest, too.
Leave her alone.
Hey,
You guys are stealing all my jokes.
Yeah. All right, yes, over here. Please stand up, sir. And please put your dumb camera down so you can concentrate. Thank you. Oh, and please stop drinking during breakfast. Where's he live? 4 at? It's in the grammar. It's in the grammar department. Let's see. Where does he live? 4 at? Where does he live? 4 at?
I think sarcastic.
South Carolina. Yeah.
When the reboot, when
the remake is a big success, they'll redo the wall and eventually they'll get to number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's true. Well, we're doing a remake. Is that good enough for you or no? You want part 4? I'm too old for those movies now, sir. Sorry. Ash with a walker. Slow down! Come over here and I'll fight you because I can't get to you.
What prompted the Evil Dead 2 to remake the first one?
What prompted Evil Dead 2?
We were kind of wondering the same thing, actually.
Well, sir, that's an assumption that we thought it was a remake. We thought, we who were the actual filmmakers, thought it was a sequel. You, the non-actual filmmakers, thought it was a remake. You're wrong. So that's what gave us the idea. And the idea to make Evil Dead 2 is because our second film, Crime Wave, bombed, and we needed to do something. So even though Ash had been clearly killed, destroyed, completely dead at the first one, oh, no, he didn't. He just got caught in a horrible vortex.
Thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking that probing question. You have a recollection?
Yes, I remember one of the early versions of the script once we were writing Waynesboro, there was actually like a recap of Evil Dead. I think it was like a 3-title thing. And Sam was going to play Scotty, and we Mike. Mike Tersic did an amazing sculpture likeness of a miniature Sam, and I was going to do a little play animation bit, but it got chopped up. I guess it's way too expensive to have all of them.
It was just too good of an idea. Look at that. Look how Tom Sullivan has allowed toxic silver to seep into his hand for you people. 10 years from now, he's going to be here twitching.
Snorting cane isn't that dangerous.
Yes, right here.
I always wondered, who's the jerk that gave you guys that cabin for the weekend? Because it's probably even before the incantation, because the
who's the jerk?
It was my brother-in-law, and he is no longer with us.
Thanks for yes, sir, over here.
Whatever happened to the Oldsmobile in the Evil Dead movies?
The Oldsmobile is still in Sam Raimi's, it's hidden in a secret place he won't tell me. Because he knows that I will try and hurt those vehicles.
He used them in several other of his films.
Oh, they've been, well, you know that stupid Oldsmobile, it's been in all the Spider-Man movies. That's Uncle Ben's car, whatever the jerk's name is. I don't follow guys in tights movies. Yeah, it was in Darkman. Did you know that? Darkman was swinging from a helicopter, like he got hit by the Oldsmobile. Did you know the Oldsmobile, by the way, was in Quick and the Dead? That's a Western. Understand the implications of that? How can Sam's car be in Quick and the Dead? Somebody please tell me. He had it stripped to its chassis and they built a wagon on top of it. So he can say that it was in every one of his movies. That's Sam Raimi.
Man in the hat, right there.
Hi.
Hey, it's Derek Jeter.
I was watching Evil Dead yesterday.
That's so weird.
What an odd thing. How did that come up? I don't understand how.
There's a scene when you guys are listening to the tape and you're by the fire, and it looks like one of the ladies is smoking some weed. I wondered if you could elaborate on the scene.
Were you smoking weed when you were watching?
No, I was just wondering if that
Which one of the ladies do you think it was?
in the middle.
Of all the ones you could have picked,
Oh, she's
you
a
don't
total
even
pothead.
realize.
That's a big
Yes, it was totally Betsy. She introduced the entire cast to me.
major pothead.
It was.
She brought a lot of drugs down there. She made us pay
We
for
had
it.
to throw all sorts of scenes out because we were.
Hey, Betsy, cookies.
She's still our dealer.
Doesn't
As art director, uncredited, I was responsible for rolling those replicas.
Replicas, I like that. Yes, the marijuana used in the motion picture was made of the finest Herbs and oregano. Yes, of course. Well, I did smoke marijuana during that motion picture because there was that scene of us sitting around passing a joint that was in the movie. That's what it's supposed to be. So we thought, let's do like, you know, Easy Rider. We sit around and really smoke weed and then film it and see what we get.
That's it.
I had never smoked weed before that day, that moment. And it was the worst mistake ever. We didn't get anything. I remember after we did it, like a half an hour would just disappear, and then another half hour would disappear. I find myself standing in different places going, weird, how did I get out on the porch? And I heard everyone talking behind me going,
This isn't working very well. We shouldn't have given those actors marijuana because they're not performing very well.
So we stopped doing that after that day, sir. We were very responsible, and we only drank moonshine from that day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
There
for your
is no way I smoke. I had that cowl neck sweater. I couldn't move my neck, but if you look at one of the other girls, they're like this. That was not me.
Stand up.
I asked the ladies this question yesterday, but with all of they weren't.
And did they ignore your question? Is it what?
No, they didn't get the answer. So I thought I'd ask the entire panel. When you watch the movies back to back, they take an evolution. That the first one, although limited budget, seemed to be straight on horror. But then as it grew and as it progressed over a dozen years, it seemed to change into more of an adventure hero, more comedic. And I didn't know if that was the intention or if that's just how it grew over the years in Sam Raimi's mind, that at a certain point, Ash stopped being a victim and started being a hero.
Are you almost done with this question?
We never answered this question.
It's time right now. We're teaching, sir.
They didn't fall asleep.
Well, I'll give you a shorter answer than your question. The first one sort of was what it was. It was a melodramatic approach.
Right.
You know, we've got Barry Shelley. We can't bury Shelley. She's a friend of ours. So you have amateur actors delivering amateur lines of dialogue. Equals hilarity, usually. We weren't sophisticated enough to know really what drama was or whatever, so there were some unintentional laughs during the movie. Part two, I think we kind of had more of a splat stick approach. It was a little more gag-oriented because we didn't really want to make the same movie over again, even though this Joker was accusing me of and Army of Darkness really is, it goes to the next, it's just because it's an action-adventure movie.
Right.
So anybody, my feeling is, who is not a real horror fan of like carnage, mayhem, blood, and guts, start with Army of Darkness and go backwards and stop whenever it gets too horrible.
I think it started at Evil Dead 2 when it got too horrible. I think it should have stopped at Evil Dead.